everybody here. That was Lightning, my little rescue. He loves these. It's a rawhide eater. He loves the rawhide. But I got I got Skippy. He's what's the matter, boy? You got a chicken bone? Yeah, he just had a chicken bone. Don't give your dogs chicken bones, by the way. I'm sorry. Maybe it wasn't chicken bone. Could have been just. Yeah, he's another rescue I have. Skippy. He's still getting climatized to Uncle Martin, and he loves sitting up on my lap. Okay, we're going live on a story that is true. All my stories have been true. So, kids, anybody's watching, aloha. Saturday. I'm gonna have to say it's the 23rd, and I don't want to say I have dyslexia, but numbers are really tough on me. So let's give it a go to say it's the 23rd, Saturday. Excuse me. And I have a short little true story of how the mountain men of Flagstaff, Arizona, had to come in and take care of the situation. And I was partly involved. I was partly involved in the situation. I don't know how this always happens to me, but it was. It was 1959. I was in kindergarten up in Flagstaff. Dad graduated NAU. He did his bachelor's in psychology and got his bachelor's as for a teacher. He was my dad was a teacher. So was my mom, but that'd be another story. So we have me going to the Indian ruins. And by the way, the thumbnail. What? He couldn't have eaten it. He buries things. Kids, you have a dog that buries things? I got one because he couldn't have eaten that rawhide that quickly. So in 1959, when I was in kindergarten, I thought I was indestructible. You know what, kids? You're not indestructible. Well, spiritually, in your finer bodies, you are a mighty being of light, everyone that's watching this. And you are indestructible. When it comes to your physical body, which is the densest body you have, you got to be careful because things can happen. What do we got here? Baseball Mason 17. Hey, and Ally Max said hi. Hey guys, it's Saturday. What else you got to do except hear a true story from Uncle Martin? And Sierra number 1. Hi Sierra. And well, when it comes down to it comes down to things like Obi Carl. Hey, Obi Carl. I used to go out and play in some Indian ruins, all right? It was only like a half a mile from where and you're probably asking, why would a 5-year-old be allowed to walk half a mile? Because these are different times. These are different time periods. Hey, Whitley Cookie. No, I'm not. I have more experience. I'm just trying my luck to win the giveaway. Obi Carl, what kind of giveaway? I haven't had any prizes yet, but maybe someday down the road I will. I'm still looking into that, how this whole thing works. I've just gone live recently to where I got a few up. You might want to check them out. If not, that's fine. I don't care. I am concerned. So up in Flagstaff, I got to go. I got to think about this, whether my parents really wanted me to go that far. Because Dad always said, whistling distance, 3 blocks. Half a mile is more than 3 blocks. So you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, Maybe I shouldn't have been going out to these Indian ruins. I think that might be a possibility. You guys are fantastic. I just remember something from back in the day. Okay, YouTube me. Water white before the cancer. Water white before the cancer. Well, you know what? Cancer can be healed, can be shattered by frequencies. I will have something on that for you. It's it's not new and upcoming because in 1930s they were able to do it, but it was the medical field that kind of stepped in and said you can't. There's too many people getting healed. Hey, imagine that. Oh baby, I can't wait to do that one. Okay, Civil War. I live community live. I spent civil wrong. I spelt civil wrong. That's okay. Spelling has never been my forte. How do I spell it? Civil. I don't know what you're trying to spell, but Ryan. Okay, so this is a story, kids. I went to my mom. My mom was doing laundry. She was doing laundry, and I asked, Mom, can I go to the Indian ruins? And I believe I did get permission this time. She said, yes, you can. So off I went. She was putting up laundry from the day before. A big dust storm was up there. You know how dust storms are, kids? They call them different things, but in Arizona, they're like red things from the distance, and it rains and it gets muddy, and that's Mom was doing her wash over again. So on the line, she was redoing her wash. Community Live, the one in 1800D, Community Live, 1800s. 1800s, got to be more specific there, partner. So I said, yeah, Mom, I'm going out to the Indian ruins. Excuse me. She says, okay, be careful. So off I went. Now, when I got to the Indian ruins were basically a disheveled Indian ruins that was up in Flagstaff, and we played up there with other kids. The family that we played with was there was Peggy, Jim was the older brother, and then there was another gal there. She was Peggy and I were the same age. Doesn't matter. Beat me, please. Master, long doing, Master. Can I have some cornbread? You may have some cornbread, yes. Master wonders, I am not your master. There are no masters, there are no slaves. And that's what we got to get across here. We are all equal. And we all are spiritual, mighty beings of light. Can't get that across more to anybody who's watching. Mason's Fishing Wonders cap. I'm a fisherman. And sometimes I open a can of worms, but that's okay. I'm a fisherman. Okay, guys. So I get out to the Indian ruins. I've done it before, but this time, because of the day before, there was a big storm, lightning storm, terrible dust storm. And I always collected like arrowheads and stuff like broken pottery, always brought it home. And this time when I went around the corner, it was a little different this time because there was a big paw print. A paw print. It was a mountain lion track, right? And you say, how would you know it was a mountain lion track? You're only 5 years old. Well, guess what? We were brought up survivalists. And even at 5 years old, I knew what bunny tracks were. I knew what squirrel tracks were. I knew what a dog paw, cat's paw, coyote, and wolf, because we were brought up. But I guess now you're asking me, I was never told about a mountain lion track, but in my mind, I knew what a cat's paw was. So this was, okay, prior to this, it was always dry. I had to have a stick, and I was always digging. I didn't have to dig. I was digging up stuff left and right because it was just. And it was a fresh paw print with water in it. So it was a mountain lion track with water in it. That means it's a fresh one. So I thought, well, maybe I better get back home. A mountain lion track, it could be negative, could be dangerous. So I picked up a stick and I had a rock. And if you don't recall, I was an expert at throwing rocks and sticks. There was no one that could match me with a stick. Just in case I came across a mountain lion. That's all I'm thinking. 5 years old. I'm indestructible. I'm 5 years old. So I get back to mom. She's putting up the laundry still. And she's looking in the distance. She's saying, oh my, I hope it's not like that lightning terrible storm we had yesterday. I said, hey mom, guess what? I just found mountain lion tracks. You know what she said? She says, I doubt that, son. I said, no mom, I found mountain lion tracks. She says, it's at least a half mile out there to those ruins. If we walk out there and there's no mountain lion tracks, you're going to get a black belt beating like you've never had before. Actually, she said, your father will give you a black belt beating like you've never had before. I said, Mom, I'm telling the truth. So off. She kept the rest of the laundry in the basket. We went out there, casually walking. So we get out around the Indian ruins, and there it is, the paw print of the mountain lion. It was a big mountain lion, she said, because she says that is a big mountain lion. Because the water was still in the recesses of the paw, which means it was a fresh track. And also we have or bring in the garden. I don't know. I am a gardener. I do a lot of gardening. Yes, I do. So when we get back home, she immediately calls our neighbor who always took care of us. It was Jim and Jackie. And Jim was part of the highway patrol. And when he heard that, he went out and investigated. And he says, yes, that wasn't a mountain lion track. It's a fresh one. And we've got to go do something about it because I don't want my kids out there playing around those Indian ruins with a live mountain lion. So him and his Nepal. Hey Nepal. Hello Uncle. How are you? Well Nepal, I'm doing well. Go India. I love India. I'm gonna be checking out the bottom of the mountains there someday soon here. Just to keep that in mind. So Nepal. Oh man, I got to go to Nepal. I've always wanted to go there. So he went out and got his two buddies, and they went out hunting. See, this was on like a Friday. And on a Friday, they went out Friday, Saturday. They came back Sunday. They went out for 3 days. They went 3 days hunting for this cat. And they said, this is the most... Nepal, you're saying, where are you from? Very good question. You are talking to someone from Arizona. It's 110 degrees at a little after 5. But that's okay, because it's actually cooling down. No, it really is. We had 116 last week. I think we're going to get up there again this week, but that's okay. It's the end of August. What are you going to do? Live with it, right? And I got some more stuff on heat. How I still have not put on my swamp cooler, my air conditioner, and it's already, what, August 23rd? Is that crazy? People say you're crazy? No, it's a game. It's a game that I like to play because my dad is no longer here with me. Well, he's here with spirit, but we used to play this game. Who has to turn the cooler on first? Well, Dad, as you well know, I have not turned the cooler or the air conditioner on, and it's been over 116. People are asking, and I've got very shortly the what do you call it? The bill for July and August. So you'll see how it's not in the hundreds of dollars. Okay, back to the story. So Jim Goes out for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He comes back Sunday. Says, "This is the most," because he's a hunter. He's a hunter. He's got stuff up on a wall for crying out loud. He's got deer. He's got boar. He's got, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I'm not a collector of those kind of animals, but he's a hunter. Excuse me. He comes back and says, "This is a wily cat." We followed his tracks. We followed him, and all of a sudden, he came up around us, and he was following us. That's very negative when you have a bear or a mountain lion that does this, by the way. Uncle, what are you doing? Hey, Nepal, Nagal, Harsit, Nagpal. What am I doing? I hope this is coming through in English. I am telling a true story. So now we got, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when a cat gets wily like that? That is the thumbnail. The Mountain Men of Williams, Arizona. Flagstaff, Williams. It's not too far. It's 45-minute drive. Well, there used to be some mountain men up there in the 40s up to the mid-60s. Mountain men. I'm talking to guys that dress in buckskin and have those tassels coming down. Sort of like a Jeremiah Johnson, those kind of guys. Well, they incorporated the mountain men of Williams, Arizona to track this wily mountain lion. Took about a week. All of a sudden, the mountain men of Williams got this cat in a cage. The cat is in the cage. It's going down. Well, it was going down the street of old NAU, and right across the street from that is the Brown Church. They call it the Brown Church. It's built in the 1800s. It's a Catholic Franciscan church. That's where I made my first Holy Communion, that one. And going down that street, they had, it was like a parade. I mean, everybody came out to see this big mountain lion that they had caged. They finally got it. So when it comes by me, I don't know, it kind of stopped to where I could get closer to it. So at 5 years old, I got close to this mountain lion. When I got up to the cage, this mountain lion was bigger than me. When I looked at it, it lunged at me with claws, teeth, and I was put in my place. At 5 years old, I saw in my understanding of being, well, let's just say I had no fear because I had a stick and a rock, but I saw that the size of this animal might have needed more than a stick and a rock to stop it. Although it probably, if I did run into it at that time, I probably would have hit it in the head with a rock. That was a very good shot. But I'm just saying, you're not quite as immortal as you think you are physically. Okay, Nepal, I know you're from India. Punjab. Hey, Punjab. I know where that is. I got some friends over there. Hey, Punjab. And I tell you, I'm going to be going over there. Ryan, I've never seen a mountain lion. Ryan, you have never seen a mountain lion? What are they like? That's what I'm saying. At 5 years old, I never saw one. I just saw a paw print. And I thought I was indestructible. I thought I could knock him out with a rock. I thought I could stick him in the eye with a stick. And by the way, I forgot to tell you about the story here. When I got my mom said I was get a beating. Remember, she said I'd get a beating, not from her, but from my dad. Excuse me, a black belt beating like I never had before, which I have had in the past. But so when we walked over to the Indian ruins, I still had my rock. I let go of my stick. Mom and I are going casually walking over to the ruins. Now, when she sees the paw print with the water still in it, she says, "This is a fresh track of a mountain lion." And she grabbed my arm, my hand, and she was dragging me back home. It was no more of a casual walk. So she had fear of the surroundings of this mountain lion that was a wily cat that could have maybe eaten me or, or attacked her at that point, which was probably the best way we should get back home. It was not a casual walk, but a little more aggressive walk. Look, Ryan, just Google mountain lion, all right? They get up to like a couple 100 pounds, and they are all over the place. In fact, I have one 7-day camping trip. I didn't put this one, but if you go to my live that I did 7-day camping trip, is when those three dreams came true. I lost my canoe. I did. Elsie the cow would save us. She did. And Gretchen, the Viking chick, the one who dragged me into the bathroom, she did not. But at that point, when I was telling you all that stuff, I forgot to tell you about the story of the 7-day camping trip when I had a bunch of meat. Hey, what's the matter, boy? You okay? Huh? You all right? Huh? I think he's got something. I hope it's not. I hope it's not a chicken bone in his leg. Come on. Hey, come on. Who is this? This is Lighten. He wants another one. I got to give him another one. Only because I love this guy. He's such a great dog. Does anybody have a great dog out there? Do you ever give him a rawhide? Some people say don't, but I do. They love it. Sorry. Hey, Nepal. What is doing? Doing is something that you either do or you don't. And that is the law. You can do or you don't. You get 2 choices. And whatever you do it well. I was brought up on that. Dad said, if you're going to do anything, you better do it well. Don't bother doing it. It's pretty simple. What do you got here? Oh, it's good. I am going to be right back. I have to Google. Okay, Ryan. I am going to be right back. I have to Google what mountain lion looked like. You're a wise man, Ryan. Could be a girl, too. It's kind of a neutral name. Yeah, please do Google that because you'll see what I'm talking about on mountain lion. Yeah, I tell you, man, you're 5 years old. You have to be a really good shot with a rock. With no fear. And that was me at 5. So, Mom's dragging me back now to home, and pretty much that's what it was. These guys had to get, excuse me, the Mountain Men of Williams. Total buckskin. You know where the long tassels are and all that. I love those guys. In fact, I think I was a mountain man at one time, and maybe that's why I went out and lived in the desert for a year. We were survivalists. Had to see if I could do it. Yeah, I did. It's at Indian Spiritual Hot Springs. I'll have more on that one. Hashit Nepal, and I'm trying to think your age. You think I'm 70? You think I'm 70? Well, let's see. I said I was. Can you add? I think you can. Because you're the ones, India, that gave us the 0 without. If India did not give us the 0, where would we be right now? We'd be counting on our fingers and toes. It's cosmic humor. Okay, so if I was 5 years old in 1959, I think you might have something there. I probably, well, some people say I look like, who is it? Who's that guy? Some singer. But he's 92. Or, uh, I don't know. Is he 92? That singer? I'm not going to say his name because I refuse. Um, we, we're having a good time here, guys, and your questions are fantastic. Um, but let's get off of American Roadrunner. You say I'm 60. Well, am I 60 or am I 70? Or am I 39 like Jack Benny? That was when Jack Benny was a comedian. They asked how old he was. He was 39. This guy was playing a violin, and he was a comic. Look up Jack Benny. Yeah, we don't need that. I get all these little things on top that I don't need to have. Okay, Nepal, you say now I'm around 50. Actually, I'd prefer to go with 39, like Jack Benny. We, the point I'm trying to get across with this true story is, kids, I was under the impression when I was 5 years old that nothing could touch me, nothing could hurt me, which is true. Hey, what is going on? Up, up, up. You okay? You know what? I think he's got a thorn. My boy's got a thorn in him. I can't check it out now. You all right, boy? We're gonna. Yeah, he gets in a briar patch. I got a briar patch. I also got a dog that loves these things. Yeah. Yeah, he loves them. He loves these things. He doesn't eat them. He buries them. He brings them back later. Okay. I'm trying to find my. Ooh, big thing. Okay, American Roadrunner. I was under the influence. Okay, American Roadrunner. I was under the influence at 5. Under the influence of 5. Well, there's many influences we have. There's a lot of misinformation that we're being fed at 5. There's also intoxicating things and things that, well, that we have to deal with on some level. If you were at 5 doing these things, I would have to say your guardian or parents have some karma to work out, because children should not be under the influence at 5 years old or 5 years of experience. Okay, that's what I'm saying about that. And whatever happened to you at that time period, you have to forgive those people, because karma's coming back big time. All right, sort of like in Hollywood right now. A lot of things, a lot of light is coming down in Hollywood. They're notorious for grabbing little children, and even schools, grooming. Big time karma. What you give out, you get back. What you brew today, you will drink tomorrow. There's a lot of people bubbling up to the karma bar right now. That's all I want to say about that. Right. Yeah, yes, sir. It was alcohol, huh? We'll see. Difference. Little, what do we got here? American Roadrunner. I was Italian. I was brought up with, well, a Sicilian grandfather who I've not got into all the stories that guy told me. Comes out in 1889 off the boat, didn't have a nickel in his pocket, How many times did I hear that story? He only went to fourth grade, and he was very prejudiced, outwardly being prejudiced, which is rather negative, by the way. But when you're growing up and you're hearing these things, it's a matter of whether you're going to feed on it, accept it, or not. And I never did accept it. It was always the or not. Now, as far as the alcohol concern is, oh gosh, when we got up about 9, we were 9, and there was always a bottle of Chianti on the table. Chianti bottle. It's like a red wine. Terrible stuff. But we could have what the grown-ups are having. We could have a little glass, like everybody. So we had our little glass, and I came to understand by the time, let's see, 9, 10, 11. By the time I was 11, it was no big deal. It was no big deal. Now you got kids that, you have to wait until you're 21 to have a drink. And a lot of kids are going overboard and having car accidents, having all kinds of problems. Ryan, it's not, no, it isn't healthy. I was drinking every day by the time I was 11 years old. That's what I'm saying, Ryan. And Ryan, that was my parents. Exactly. Exactly. Your parents are people that you emulate. And sometimes when you have discernment, and I believe you have discernment, Ryan, because see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So for 6 years, you were having a little shot here and there or whatever it was. At this point, you must understand it's psychological. And you don't need to do it. And it's something you must first think that you don't want to, and then it will happen. This is the way it works on anything in life. Once it takes 1/1,000,000th of a spark of electricity to make any thought. So once you start thinking you don't want to do something, you don't want to, whatever it is, it crystallizes, and then you're able to do it. It just happens one day. Whether it be smoking a cigarette, drugs, whatever it is, alcohol, in your mind you're saying, I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it, and then it'll happen. This is the way it works. You don't need no therapy on this stuff. It just happens that way. Okay, American Roadrunner. I don't drink. I quit 21 years ago. Now this is fantastic. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We all can do this. There's people going through rehabs, and these are all the more wealthy people because they can afford rehabs. But in their mind, they have not crystallized that thought that they plan on quitting. Now, they all got all these 12 steps and everything else, but in their mind, did they really think that they were going to do it or that they had to do it? And that's where it comes down to. Only until you start thinking you will not do it or you don't plan on doing it will it happen that you stop whatever it is that you're doing that is detrimental, maybe physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually in your being. Okay, 21 years ago. American Roadrunner. You quit 21 years ago. That's fantastic. Not everybody can. And because, again, how badly do you want to quit? Some kind of, it's comforting for some people to do the little medicine now. They're calling medicine. Back in my day, it was weed. Now it's medicine. When it was weed, you get arrested, thrown in jail. Now that's not going to happen. They've got stuff in this medicine that is not medicine. It's actually, man, they got all kinds of stuff that really, it's bringing on more problems than this medicine should. Okay. You guys have been great. What are we going at? Oh my goodness, it's 34 minutes. How did this ever happen? Well, you know how it happened? My phone didn't go out because I watered everything down. Still 100, well, it must be about 105. I think I lowered the temperature by 5 degrees because my phone goes out at 110 all the time. That's right, Arizona. Saturday is a warm one. It's only 110 and going lower. What I've noticed is people are trying to say Arizona's getting hotter. I don't believe so. But unless you want it. I was inpatient 7 times, but always came out drinking and drugging. But when I quit, I was ready, so I just stopped. That is my point exactly. You're in and out of rehab. You didn't think about really doing it. You went along for the ride. I don't know if you're a rich kid or not, but rehab is not inexpensive, all right? And a lot of people just, you know what? A lot of people don't care if you quit or not. They just soon see you come back again. And you said you were an inpatient 7 times. You know how much money they were making 7 times? But again, 7 is very spiritual. So there you go. On the 7th time, you were able to do it because finally in your mind, it crystallized that thought that you had no plans on drinking anymore. It's just it seems to be the way it works, all right? I did that with cigarettes. I did that with drinking. I did that with weed. See, when I lived with the growers, yeah, I lived with growers. Yeah, it was back in the 70s. We'd all sit around in a circle. Everybody passed the peace pipe, and it was like whoever was left, not standing because we were sitting, but whoever, because normally everybody was on their back at a certain point. They just couldn't sit up anymore. And it was always me and this other grower that would be the only one sitting up. And he'd say, hey, you want to do another one? I said, I don't care. So it was like, it was never sacrament to me, all right? All you little people out there are giving me a hard time about this. This medicine that's sacrament, it's not sacrament. I said it's weed. And then all the growers said, you say that one more time, you're not going to get any. I said, okay, hey, let's have some herb. They couldn't say anything about herb because, well, it is a weed. And by the way, many thousands of years ago, the black magicians from Africa put weed together, by the way, all right? The black magicians from the jungles of Africa, they put weed and it was just after Atlantis, during Atlantis time. I'll go into that more. Nobody believes that kind of stuff, but it's true. It was propagated and put together. Now we have a government that's putting more stuff in it that it needs to. You got kids now that are trying it for the first time, this medicine, and they're hearing voices, and they're hallucinating. Well, guess what? They're adding things to this medicine. That's right. Even my dog knows that. He's a smart dog. I'm sorry. You guys have been fantastic, asking good questions. I wonder what happened to Ryan. Did he ever get a hold of that mountain lion? Did you ever find that mountain lion, Ryan? Well, when you do, they're over a couple 100 pounds. And, well, they can't eat you. Unless you don't have any fear. Big stick, rock. Not around their little pups. That'd be very negative. They might be feeling intimidated at that point. I almost took a bobcat home once. It was a baby bobcat. And it was so cute. I'm glad I didn't. I left it out in the wild. The mother came by and got it because I was going up to one of the lakes that I like to go up to, Apache Lake. and it was on the side of the road. I almost picked up the little guy. I almost picked up a tarantula, size of my hand. I didn't. I let it out there in the wild. There's a fella here that I know watches every now and then. His name is Richard. He did this bicycling all over Australia, over 2,000 miles on a bicycle. And when he ran out of money, he worked in a pub or whatever it was in a grocery store until he got enough money. Then he started pedaling again. Caught this big old grouper, 600 pounds. But they did something. It was amazing. At him and his brother, Jerry, they were pulling something out of the side of a mountain, a cliff, and they had it by the tail, and they were pulling it out. And son of a gun, it was a bearded dragon. It's like 3 foot long, and there was some money, but they left it back to go into its hole. That's good. Always when you find something out in the desert or wherever you're at, best to leave it alone and let it live, and don't capture it, put it in a cage. That's the worst thing. All right, so last thing I want to say is thumbs up, thumbs down on anything you come across with Uncle Martin. And I want a comment from you, because as soon as I'm done posting this stuff, I don't get a comment of what y'all said until you put it into whatever I repost. I got over 500. This is over 500 videos. So whatever you come across, give me a comment, all right? Say you liked it. You said it was a bunch of... Or you're going to share it with somebody. That'd be positive. And I don't care, positive or negative. Algorithms. I didn't even know what the algorithm was. For 2 years, I've been in this for 3 years. For 2 years, I had it up with just for kids, and I couldn't get a comment. Why is that? Because when you post it for kids, you don't get any comments. I didn't know. I'm still working on what I'm doing, all right? I'm just telling true stories. Help somebody out. Like Ryan, you went in 7 times, right? 7 times, and drugging, and you finally quit. These are the stories I love to hear, all right? If anybody's got those, please let me know about it, all right? So until we see each other again, which will be tomorrow, today's Saturday. I'm guessing it's the 23rd. I could be wrong, but I believe it's the 23rd of August. And tomorrow at 5 o'clock on Sunday, Uncle Martin will have another true story for you to listen to. Until then, be well, God victory, and be safe out there. Take care.